Hello again, everyone.
Good day?
Good day, good night,
Good morning.
yeah, whatever time it is where you are, good that. I am Robin,
I'm Katie.
and this is the ReBoot review,
It's
Alphanumeric. So, today, you're in for a treat because we are watching Season 1, Episode 8, Enzo The Smart.
Yep. The one episode that I will think of once every couple months, I swear, since I've ever seen it.
Really?
Well, okay, maybe not every maybe once a year.
But still, like,
but it pops up in my head so often.
Yeah, like just
Really?
random lines from it. If you haven't seen Enzo the Smart in a long time, do yourselves a favor and before you listen to us talk about it, go back and rewatch it on its own. Because I have to say, this is an episode that I didn't give enough credit to it when I first watched it as a kid.
Yeah.
Because it was an Enzo-centric kind of juvenile story episode, and everyone was acting silly in it, and I was 12 and too serious for this silly business. And then I watch it as an adult, and I'm like, I was so wrong. This episode is brilliant.
I have to admit, opposite experience.
Really?
For me. When I first saw it, I was like, this is amazing. I just it was
Yeah.
a premise that I don't think I'd ever seen before.
True, yeah.
And it was, I never liked Enzo, but I liked this episode and I liked Enzo in it.
Yes.
And I guess that was the thing. It's the whole idea of the kid in peril, and it's on his shoulders to solve the problem, and there's no one else who can help him. And I've always really liked that, and it's not done often.
No,
the idea that the kid is in no way able, he has no help.
Yeah,
at all.
there's no resources. It's entirely up to him.
You almost do feel a little bit worried for him.
Yeah.
Just a little.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think like you've mentioned before, especially when you are a kid, you can't help but mentally put yourself in that situation.
Yes.
And think,
yeah.
what would I do?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So anyway, I remember I really liked it. It stuck with me for sure.
Yeah.
And it's a good lesson.
That too. It's got a
Book
nice
learning.
moral of
It's
the story.
important.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It depicts the moral of the story in a way that doesn't feel forced, that feels very natural, wraps it up nicely, and the comedic timing in this episode
We are helping.
is so good. And there's jokes that they bring back later, and this is an episode that makes up for every timing problem that the whole rest of the series happens, because they get so much right here. So anyway, without further ado,
Let's watch it.
let's start watching Enzo the Smart, and we're going to start watching it right now.
I come from the net.
Yeah, a lot
Systems,
of memorable
peoples,
lines
and cities
and moments
Yeah,
in this
definitely.
episode. Yeah,
Mainframe.
yeah. It might even be
My format,
hard for us
Guardian.
to comment on
To
it, just
mend
because
and defend.
It's true.
To
It's
defend
fun.
my
we're gonna be
It's
so
good.
caught. Yeah, and
Their
just and when
hopes
we're
and
caught up in
dreams.
the jokes ourselves,
Defend them from
we're just gonna be
their
laughing.
enemies.
Yeah, exactly. We'll be
lot of
like,
the
that's a good one.
Yeah, pretty much. So I guess prepare for a lot of that.
Yeah.
But
And now, one thing I'm curious about on my rewatch is I remember the setup for it seeming long. And I almost
Right.
wonder, obviously that's the whole point is he's supposed to be bored and he's supposed to be kind of, it's supposed to feel, you're supposed to feel empathy for his boredom.
Yeah.
But I remember, it just felt stretched out. So I'm curious, when we rewatch
how
it.
it feels now watching it as an
puts
adult, if it
games to
feels like
pleasure.
it's too
Longer.
extended or
knows for
dragged out
sure.
at the beginning.
Yeah.
But I intend to find out.
I'm going to find out too, Bob.
Yeah. I guess they never did find out though. What the
I guess
user
no,
was about.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's very true.
I did forget that this was how the episode started.
Yes.
This little. And I love that music. That's a very unique user design. We don't usually see them looking so toy-like.
Yeah,
Just
that's
very
true.
simplistic.
The mustache.
I forgot Dot had a mustache in this.
Take him offline.
Oh man! And you know what? I was going to check the writer because the writer appears in the card right at the
right,
beginning. I was
right.
going to double check the writer and I didn't, but I'll put it in the description below if you're curious who the writer was. Because they did a good job. But this is also an episode where the director and the storyboard artists and stuff just composed the episode really well. Again, details like Dot having the
Yeah, so happy.
mustache is mandatory.
Yeah, that's the ticket. I just need a bigger shot.
You can just expand your cannon like that.
Cannonball!
And the donk.
Think it's big enough, Enzo?
I got it all processed, Dot. Bigger is better. Chip away this fort blast by blast.
And like, that kid logic makes sense.
Yeah.
You see why
of course.
Enzo would go into it knowing that, and it's simply
Roll
inexperience.
user.
Blue.
Hey, he learned that. He could have just learned the lesson he needed to learn there.
That's true, but no, we had to make a 30-minute
Full
episode out of
episode.
it. Yeah,
Because Enzo just.
out of Enzo learning the basics of physics.
Oh, there we. Oh,
Yeah.
Bob figuring it out.
Exactly,
Glitch.
Bob being the
Stats.
smart one. But again, just the one with more life experience. Yeah.
Big cannonballs, big powder. It's our only hope. Shh. What are you doing? That won't even make a dent.
Trust me.
Whee!
Game over.
That could have hurt.
Shot.
Twice nightly
deleted him.
Susan Alexander.
Who is Susan
I
Alexander?
wonder.
Again? I don't think she's a voice.
Yeah, the name's not familiar.
Multitasking the large parties. This is what I hate.
Oh, Cecil, get back on your pole.
Yeah.
He never left.
Download
You
us,
know that.
Bob.
Well, I just spotted his weak sector, calculated the angle, and fired.
And pow! Blasted to my...
Yeah, offline.
Deleted!
Well, there's a different Afro guy.
What?
There's a short one.
What's with Enzo?
So we have tall
Is he
Afro
fully
guy and
functional?
short Afro guy
He's
now.
been like
Yeah,
that since
it's a
the game ended.
popular.
Although tall
style.
Afro guy is like a mime, isn't he? He's like, yeah.
Is
Why
he?
so glum, Enzo?
No, he just had like the French striped shirt. Maybe that's why.
Yeah, because he had the bicycle in the last
Yeah,
episode.
yeah.
Basic.
Old-timey bicycle
Whoa, don't
Afro
be so
dude.
rough on
Basic.
yourself.
Basic.
don't
Which
know
one
that's
is that?
actually
Actually
now an
slang now. Oh man,
Yeah,
ReBoot,
don't
you were
worry
so
about it.
forward
It'll all
thinking.
come in time.
Amazing.
Time, huh? Little kid. Huh. I don't want to be smart later.
That's a very
I wanna be
staged
smart
delivery.
now.
Yeah.
But like it's cute
Why
though.
not?
Like
You
it
wanna-
works for them. Well, okay, so we do. Okay,
I guess we get a
ignore
lot
every
of it.
time we talk about it being the only time we see someone play Pong.
Yeah.
Although I guess
we
this is
just-
the first time Enzo really comes to him for advice.
Yeah.
But Fong takes pity on him, so he doesn't actually have to beat him.
Perhaps
Yes.
you will try later, my son. As you know, I can only download wisdom to those who beat me at my game.
That's judging
course I'd
people by a
lose.
very
I'm as
specific
basic as
skill to
basic.
be for them to be worthy of your wisdom.
Well, hardly worth a backup. Someone should undo me.
Your
and-
processing
Enzo.
speed is way low.
Come, you did not win my game, but maybe I can help anyway.
Because, of course, it doesn't even matter.
Right.
I'm just looking for attention.
Yeah, he's just a
I'm
really
not
bored
supposed to
old
let
man.
I mean,
Can't you see
anyone
this as a
in
cry for help?
But if you promise not to touch anything, I will show you something.
Really? Alphanumeric. I promise.
Hey, that's the title of our show.
What?
Yada yada yada.
Nice light.
JL Senior?
I thought that said Il Signor.
Yeah, me too. Me too at first, but no, it was JL Senior. The glowing light.
Whoa. Double-sided. Super cooled.
The city's read-only room, a storehouse of all information since the very beginning of mainframe.
Whoa. Pixelacious.
And my favorite way to
Pixelacious.
become
That's
smarter,
don't remember
that's a
that
new
one.
one.
reading.
How about
If you promise not to
Pixelicious?
touch anything other
Pixelicious?
than
I feel
this
like that's a
window,
thing that
you
is.
may
That
stay
girl
in this
is
room and
pixelicious.
scan the files in memory.
Or that guy.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
whichever.
Either
Yeah.
one.
I want to scan every README file in the system.
Processing request.
Okay, to be fair, like when you
When
have
you finish, just come out
like an
this
11-year-old
door.
kid,
Be
you don't just
careful,
take them to the
young Enzo.
archives and be like,
Remember,
okay, learn something.
anything
Yeah,
worthwhile
They do need a little more
takes
direction than
time.
that, typically.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just like sitting them in front of a computer now and just saying, here you
faster I
go,
go, the more
all the
I'll
world's
know."
knowledge.
Thanks,
Learn
Mom.
all of it.
I'll
Don't
show
look
them
at
how
the
smart
bad
I am. I
side.
stole every bite of data in here.
Yeah, I'm sure the
Cecil,
mainframe
have you seen
archives
Enzo?
aren't all like
What do I
sunshine and
look
rainbows
like, a
either.
nanny?
Yeah,
But
of course.
But Fong would totally be that guy who doesn't actually consider what's age appropriate.
yeah,
When he-
that's a good point. Yeah, he is that. Like, here, have this knife.
yeah.
I hope he's okay.
I'm sure he's fine.
Yeah,
This
that's
is gonna
pretty
take
accurate to how I
millions and
feel when I've
millions
been
of
trying to ingest
nanoseconds.
information for too
This
long.
might even
Especially
take
off the
one whole
internet.
second.
Yeah, right, on the computer.
There's gotta be a faster way to get smart. I know. Access information on speed setting.
Processing request. Mainframe's clock speed and bit rate determines how fast sprites can run. Faster clock speed and higher bit rate equals greater processing power.
I just want to be smarter.
Smarter than what?
Smarter than Bob. No, wait. Smarter than everyone.
How much smarter?
Ooh. Twice as much?
Processing request.
He delivered that line very well.
Changes in sprite speed must be made from the clock speed room.
Okay, but how would I ever get there?
It's just like a cute little thing, like they had to
No
give him that
way!
extra
God, it's
step
so
to do, but that leads to like neat visuals. Like they
Yeah.
could have just had the thing be able to do it from there.
Yeah,
But they were like, no, we're gonna make a little bit more of an adventure and give you this cool pendulum thing.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Or just add a few more minutes onto the episode.
That's
It wasn't
too,
long
yeah.
enough, possibly.
I don't think we ever see the like clock speed room again.
I'm sure they lock it up.
Well, yeah, true.
It's like
Hello?
no one can
But
do that
it's
again.
so cool. I feel like it would be
Welcome
interesting
to
to
the
have him
mainframe
like find
speed
another way to
room.
use it.
Do
Yeah,
you
it's
wish to be
true.
Twice as smart as everyone now, or later.
Now.
Processing request.
Is that God?
Yes.
Mainframe
It's
God?
mainframe god. And that's a cool effect. It always was.
Yeah.
I think that was used in a lot of promos too, just because it's such an impressive looking moment.
Hey, I'm not any faster. I'll crash it all.
Crash it all.
I guess with Enzo having to go through all this whole process, it does feel like kind of a long
Yeah.
establishing.
Now this
First
is
30.
so
Yes.
fun. Yeah, the whole
Everything's gone
change.
8-bit.
Yeah.
Doesn't that just look like every picture that we had from the internet?
Yeah, like oh, and the graphics in that, like
Fong!
Microsoft Paint.
yeah, it's a little bit like the effect. I think like low
There
bit
you
speed
are.
Fong or
Hey,
low processing
where did
speed
all the
Fong is
colors go?
possibly the
Looks like
funniest
they're all here to me.
of all of them.
Yeah,
Oh, I
because he's
know
more
you.
just like
he got
illegal
low density or
activity or
what?
like illicit
I better
drugs
thank
fun.
you.
Yeah,
When I was
true.
inside, I better get Bob.
Well, he's like the least different from how he normally is. Like he's just
He's just a little bit more weird.
more spacey
Yeah.
and weird, yeah. But yeah, the pixel art is a little
Congratulations.
For what?
For finding a way out of here.
Enzo!
It's puppy dog Bob.
You are my hero!
I am?
Why, we've been trying to get out forever.
And I think when I was a kid, I found Michael Benyer's delivery of
You
this
are
stuff to
so
be like
smart.
a little over the top.
And I am
But
so
now I think it's
lucky.
pitch perfect.
My brother,
Like
the
for what it
smartest
is.
boy in all
You
of
know?
They had so much fun with it.
Yeah, clearly.
wherever this is.
Like her
Gosh,
ditzy
Enzo,
little
Yeah,
stand
voice.
back.
slightly higher
Don't
than
worry,
usual.
I'll
I love
save you.
his posing.
Save us? From what?
Gee, I'm
Like
not
he's still
sure.
a hero,
Is
just
it
not a
from
very
that-
bright one.
That
Yeah.
stranger?
Express delivery for, Dodge, dinner?
Why, yes, it is. Aha!
No, Bob! That's just the...
Take that! And that!
Sorry about that. I don't know what got into him.
Posing.
I love how much time he spends doing that in this
So the
episode
doctor
too.
come in?
for sale. Best price in town.
No way.
Okay,
This isn't
but
a game.
in
I
a
did
city
this.
of like
And I
reduced
didn't make myself
intelligent
any smarter.
citizens,
I made everyone
that's not
else
such a bad
dumber.
idea. Not such a bad move. She's still thinking.
Yeah,
What have I done? I've got to say,
And I love you can still hear.
yeah.
And I think it's like, again, we have headphones in. I think it's only in the left headphone. See, there's clearly a market for these zipboard hats. Like,
Yeah. They haven't completely lost who they are.
yeah.
Wow. These aren't just for hats anymore. Hey, come back. You didn't pay for that.
Never fear, for I, Bob, will stop him.
They really are still the core of who they are. And that was
Yeah.
the thing I haven't appreciated before, is that they can, like, have their intelligence so reduced but still be so them.
Yeah,
You know.
exactly.
Anyway, as I was keep starting to say, the pixel version of Mainframe is to me almost reminiscent of how much of a change you had in The Wizard of Oz when Dorothy goes to Oz, and it's in color, right?
yeah.
I could see how they would want that immediate visual
Yeah.
to establish that things have changed, and like it should be immediate apparent and this like shock as soon as you go through the doors of the principal office.
Yeah, that's right.
And that they chose this bit art style to portray it was, yeah, just really clever on their part. And I also wonder if maybe it wasn't also economizing a little bit, because maybe this low
Maybe it was
bit
hard
rate.
to create.
Well,
start
well,
this
I wonder
thing?
if maybe the low bit rate was faster to render.
Oh, good point. Yeah.
I don't
that's
know for
how.
sure. Maybe that's not.
Great.
Maybe that's not the case. But
Trapped in a game with these characters. This better be something simple.
Yeah, it's hard to say
or
whether
we're in
it was
major
hard for
trouble.
them to create it and therefore more time consuming, or they could just blanket it over everything and it was simple.
yeah, exactly. And it uses less data.
And love that Mike doesn't change.
But first, this message.
Man, clock speed doesn't seem to affect Mike the TV at all.
Those little
Guess you didn't
arms
get
in the
enough
back.
What is she doing?
Just having fun. Just, this game is so exciting. Look, there's this cheering audience.
Well, at least you get to be the coach.
And Bob like tapped his head. You have to like when he knocks himself over. You have to pay attention to everything going on in this episode.
I love that threatening
know.
In the
finger.
first series of events, the athletes will rack up as many points as they can. The more, the better.
And yeah, like the opposition is like so threatening.
Yeah, exactly. They're all giant.
The Eliminator. Whoever wins the Eliminator wins the game.
But now, another word from our sponsor.
But
Did
then
you
why
hear
is there
that?
the rest of the game?
We've got to score as many points as possible, or we're all wiped out.
Don't worry, Coach. I will help you win.
We will help you win.
Yup, you got it, Enzo. Winning is our format.
Consider it inputted.
And I love the like
There's just one
The gender
thing.
bending?
well,
Yes?
not just that, but like
What are
the
points?
silly design of their outfits.
Yes.
Like
Gonna be nullified.
Bob's in a football uniform. And is there football in this?
No, it's like a track and field event.
Still muscle posing.
And
Dog just hanging there.
yes.
But yeah, that their outfits match the silliness of their current brain processing power.
Oh, those front bits.
Pointy front bits. He looks kind of like Vega from Street Fighter.
Yeah,
Like
I don't get
mask.
the mask. I'm curious.
Yeah,
about
why does he have it? Is it like
And
a
you know,
reference
there's
to
a
something?
point. Yeah, there was a reason.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Jock strap on the outside. And I love it, like the helmet just digs in a little bit.
They had too much fun.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
Well, good throw, though.
Yeah, at least she didn't throw it on her head because she doesn't have the helmet on. That would be really bad. Just look at the following the ball. Oh yeah, this. I love that gag, and I love how we come back to it. and-
There, I remember
yes,
this shot.
this one. It's like, yay, we did it.
Oh, you know that.
They're the simplest pratfalls,
What we
and
have
yet,
here
like, I
is
think it's
favorite
the Bob contemplating the basketball for like a full 2 seconds
Yeah,
before he
before he
follows
does
through.
it.
and I laugh because I know it's coming.
Yeah, I know. That's it. Like, you
It's
just
already
remember it all.
I wonder, because with like storyboard-driven humor and like sight gags,
Coach?
it's
time for the
hard to tell how much of it comes from the script and how much of it came from the director and the storyboard artist as they were building the episode. So I do wonder how much of these jokes were in the original script and how much of it was the animator specifically and their contribution.
Coming up with the gag.
Yeah. It's always a marriage of the two, really.
Yeah.
I feel rotten.
I see. And what are your strategic plans for the rest of the game?
Strategic plans? I'm just gonna try to win, that's what. And I'm not gonna let my team ruin it either.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen, and you heard it here first. Coach Enzo is entering the game.
For the weird, like, all or nothing final thing.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make a whole lot of
We'll
sense.
help
Oh,
you
there
win
you
the
go.
race.
Yeah.
I was afraid of that.
Ooh, red eyes. Scary.
Yeah. That's clearly the big villain of the piece. Except, like, that's the user. Ostensibly, that's the hero.
Like, imagine, like,
I
what
guess
guy
if you're-
bought it that's thinking, I'm going to be this nasty
Although I guess if you're
red-eyed-
like a teen boy and you have a selection of characters to choose from, you probably would choose like the evil-looking one just because he looks cool.
That's true. That's what all teen boys would do.
Yeah.
Way to stereotype there. Stereotypes have a little bit of truth. I would go on this. This would be fun.
Oh, that would look fun, and then I would do it, and I would be like, "This is the worst idea I've ever had." Yeah. That always looked really cool. Just being there.
Okay, user.
I feel like the
jam it
running on
down.
the grates thing was very American Gladiator.
Yes.
I used to watch a lot of American Gladiator when I was
did.
like 12 or 13, and I have no idea why. And this reminds me of that a lot.
Yeah, this whole
Sequence, yeah. Zip lines and stuff.
That sound means the
Again,
user is on
things
his
that
final
look
lap.
really fun until
Yeah.
you actually do them,
Want to be
and you're like,
notified
oh, this
to
is
think of your
actually
city,
really
think of
hard.
your
Yeah.
friends, but most
And
of all,
terrifying.
think of my career.
And then random
loved it.
lava. Like, it
Why
doesn't
not?
make any good
Hopeless.
sense, but I don't
Wonder
care.
what Mom would do. The smart.
Oh, the timing of that is so
The
good.
smart Bob would use his brains. I had to transfer all of you to the users team because he really needs your help to make it to the finish line.
Really?
That earnest nod.
I've got some ground to make up. That's it. Final lap.
It is funny, though, like, they obviously are gonna keep the user from winning. But I remember as a kid thinking that seemed really unfair. Like, when you think of the users, like, this isn't allowed.
And can we,
Okay.
can we go back to my thought experiment again? About the lazy loser user. You're playing this game, and suddenly the other sprites just start piling on you.
Yeah, exactly.
They're like, and this is happening. Like, what would you think was going on in your game?
What happened to Dot? I think
Did she just like?
did he kill her? She was lying on the ground. I'm exhausted. Not the vapors.
I love it. Actually, and I love that it comes back around, and that you just see it referenced multiple times, just so you're reminded.
Yes,
It doesn't come out of nowhere. He's still out there.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that gag.
Because you itch.
Game over.
You are my hero.
I hope it just ends there.
Yeah, exactly.
Just scream and run, Enzo. Just scream and run. And I like that that's all we need. Maybe that's why the pendulum was there, was
What's
so that
our
we had an easy
problem?
cue.
Yeah, that's right.
That's a line that didn't really make sense when I was younger, the way he says it, but now I'm just like, no, it just stands great on its own.
Yeah.
I hope you learned you should always pay attention to the road signs.
What in the network are you talking about?
Shortcuts lead to dead ends, my son.
Wait a minute. You knew all along, didn't you?
What? Were you talking to me?
I learned a lot, Fong. More
Thanks
than
for
I
almost
wanted,
letting
but
me die.
thanks.
Yeah, really.
You're not gonna catch me getting smart.
Once again, the
No
knife
way.
analogy.
Exactly. I'm going to take you to the middle of the woods.
I think he's sick.
And I'm going to leave you there.
He's so quiet.
But here's a knife.
Yeah, here's your knife.
He hasn't knocked me over for at least a millisecond.
Think we should call a diagnostic program?
That's enough for today. These things take time, you know. Anyone want to go circuit racing, jetball, speedboat, netcar,
I like that it's like, okay, punch in the clock,
Yeah, yeah.
Bob
exactly.
harassment time, you know?
I like that he didn't learn that lesson.
Yeah, true.
Thoroughly enjoyable.
Yeah, just, oh man, so many great things to enjoy about, like, little details and background stuff going on, and just artistically well done. There's not really much more to add on it.
Yeah.
It's just a
And you know
good
something?
classic episode.
I just happened to notice like Tony J's name in the credits on this one, and it's funny. It's like there aren't many shows where you can have the main villain just not be there for a while.
Yeah, it's really true. Once again, like the TIFF, this was about individual characters overcoming their own barriers and relationships and, you know, all that kind of thing. And yeah, a great thing about early Reboot was there's a lot at stake in this episode. I mean, Enzo and his friends could be nullified.
Yeah.
It's still a high stakes episode, but yeah, there's so many different things you can do. Yeah, because I think it's been a couple of episodes since we've seen Megabyte or Hexadecimal, and there's like a couple more until we see them again, or at least one more, because we've got, I think the next one is Wizards, Warriors, and Words from our sponsor.
Right.
Which is also a virus-free episode.
Yeah. It's nice because they don't rely on that back and forth to carry the show.
Exactly. It's not always about the viruses. And again, it comes back to the characters themselves and their own problems driving so many of the episodes, which is, personally, I think the hallmark of a well-made story, whether it's TV or books.
Clearly, that was so fun.
Yeah.
So as good as I remember it. Hooray.
Yeah. So anyway, that one's a treat. And I just wanted to mention before we wrap up for today that if you are enjoying this, I mean, like, likes are great, subscriptions are awesome. We would love to hear comments from people, but the thing that we would appreciate the most of all, or at least I would appreciate, I can't speak for Katie, is if you shared this. If you like it, please share it with another Reboot fan.
I would like that.
Yeah.
What do you
Well, I mean, if you like it more, like if you'd appreciate it even more than like likes and views
Why
and
not?
subscriptions and stuff.
Well, of course, that's the whole point. Is like we're big fans, and we'd love for other fans to be able to
and
enjoy
we
it
want
with us.
you guys to be inspired by what we say, to talk about it and discuss it with us. And I mean, based on, you know, if you look at the statistics for the trailer for that new thing of which we're not going to speak, like there's like at least like 8,000 people had feelings about that.
Yeah, strong feelings.
So we know there's at least that many people out there who care about this show.
Yeah.
So if you can share it with one of them, or just put this in some kind of forum or platform where you think Reboot fans might be, send a link to this. We would really appreciate that a lot, because we would like for people to discover this and enjoy it with us. So yeah. Any last thoughts before we wrap things up?
I am going to go study, because I learned something in this episode.
Wow. See, that just goes to show TV works.
Yeah. I learned, I would never have learned that.
No, we
If
would
not
have
for that episode.
We would have just spent ages throwing larger and larger cannonballs at our problems.
Yeah. I'm going to make you dumber, Robin.
But at least you'll learn your lesson as a result.
Yeah. Very true. And no one will die in my
Or get nullified. I hope not. Yeah. So anyway, until next time, I am Robin.
And I'm Katie.
And this is the Reboot Review : It's Alphanumeric. And yeah, stay frosty.
Be pixelicious.